Yes. Okay. Welcome to Broom Talk, the podcast where witches, healers, and magic makers gather to share their journeys, their magic, and their truths. I'm your host, Priestess Mellisa of Enchanted Dragonfly, inviting you to take a seat at the broom circle because the real magic is in the stories we tell. So let's stir the cauldron and speak the spell. So I have another magical being with me today. So tell us your name and your business name.
Hi, I'm Brianna, or Bree. Everybody calls me Bree. I do business out of Dragonflies and Amber, but my business name is Infinite and Elemental Healing.
Nice. And could you tell us a little bit about what you do?
So it's morphed and changed over the years. My main claim to fame, I guess I would say, it's not fame, but my main call to becoming a healer is breathwork. It goes back to the days of I was initially diagnosed with brain cancer, and I had a radiation technologist who taught me some breathing techniques that got me through some very hard radiation that I had to go through as part of my treatment. And so I learned some basic breathing techniques that got me through that. And, you know, I like to say that's when I caught the bug of breathing, not knowing what that would turn into years later. I sort of turned off a lot of things just to, you know, in survival mode to get me through what I needed to get through at that time. You know, I think that's sort of where it started. You know, fast forward years later, I met Julie Vinson at Dragonflies and Amber. She did a mediumship at a mutual friend's house, and it just kind of blossomed from there. Met some of who I call my soul sisters now, and have been doing breath work out of there since Dragonflies opened. I want to say back in maybe 2018, nice. 2017, and it's morphed and changed. You know, I became certified through the Reiki steps. I am a Reiki master. I have done work with other, you know, local hospitals. I do a lot of work with Dana-Farber through other patients at Dana-Farber who have also gone through their own cancer journeys. My passion really is to inspire hope, not just with cancer patients, but through anyone going through life's challenges. You know, really, you know, finding their way through the ebbs and flows of life, you know, that we all can struggle with, but also to overcome.
Nice. Well, I'm sorry you experienced that, but
thank you.
I'm happy you kicked its ass.
Yes.
So you said that you are located at Dragonflies and Amber, and is there any other place that they can find you, that you're located?
Right now, that's the only physical location that I do things at. Always looking to expand, but that's my home base. That's where my roots are.
Awesome. Great place, absolutely. And how did you start doing what you do?
Again, I go back to, you know, I tie it to that radiation technologist that I had, you know, but there's, you know, other layers to me. It's not just all the cancer component, I guess. My spiritual journey, I think, has always been with me. What I've really discovered probably in the last 4 years is, you know, I have Native American in my lineage, and, you know, it is on my father's side, and, you know, sadly he has crossed over, but he communicates with me probably more than a daily basis, multiple times a day. And I just, you know, being younger, I didn't care when he was here. And, you know, I started working with a shaman a few years back, really feeling pulled to that. I do more of the shamanic practices now in my private practice. In my, you know, classes, I do drumming circles. Drumming journeys. But growing up, I always felt a call to, you know, the earth, the animals, you know, what nature offers us. I just never talked to him about the traditions.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that it gets passed on from generation to generation. And for a long time, I felt sad about that. I let that dictate a lot of I let that hold me back in a lot of ways. Guilt, I felt a lot of guilt, and then I learned through working with one of my main, shamanic mentors and teachers that it just wasn't safe for him to talk about it. It probably wasn't safe for his parents to talk about it. And then I was gifted a beautiful opportunity to travel down to Sedona. Actually, we're coming up on a year next week. And I was blessed to work with some authentic Native American guides. And, a couple of them just looking at me, they have a tradition where they see one of their own and they, and, they were doing that with me. And I've lost sight of the question. This happens with me.
That's quite okay. It was about how you started doing what you do.
So this is that layers.
That's all right.
It's all woven together. And this is what I think makes a beautiful spiritual story. I don't really think, talk about how you started what you do. There really is no beginning and no end. It kind of just weaves all together.
Nice.
But when I was working with these guides, they just knew from looking at me, or from me speaking a few things to them, that I had this lineage. I worked with someone who just knew, and I was able to bring home some things that I started doing a deep dive and bringing that into my practice and offering that to some of my clients, and really building off of that, and just having that faith and having that confidence that this does belong to me.
Absolutely.
And going back to that roots of this does feel like home. This is home.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And what type of practitioner are you?
Oof. That's, I feel like, another layered answer.
Go for it.
So I am formally trained as a Reiki master, like I said, and I do, still do, that's my foundation, and that will always be true to my heart. But, like I said, it morphs and changes as we, as human beings, morph and change. I do feel like in my journey the last few years, I am a breathwork practitioner, but I'm also, native and ancestral. I call a lot upon my ancestors and some of those, raw, native, traditional, cultural aspects of healing. Intuitive, what comes to me depending on what client I have in front of me, depending on what they have going on.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are a one-dimensional healer or practitioner.
True. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely. What is your spiritual origin story or an awakening moment?
Whew. Oh. So I think for me, I could share two awakening moments that come immediately to mind. One being down in Sedona. I was able to share an experience with a medicine woman down in Sedona, and it was a day-long experience. She took myself and two of my shamanic mentor, who happened to be on the trip as well, and one of her other students who I had met down there, and her and I clicked immediately. But I had planned this, day-long trip out to a medicine wheel that had been built by a community down there. And not just the knowledge she shared with us that was truly life-changing, but it was, maybe about a 20-minute drive out to the medicine wheel. Just in speaking with her about some of my my things I knew of my dad. Some things my mom knew from my grandfather. There was an arrowhead that had been passed down that I carry with me.
Oh.
But she said to me at the end of our time together, very casually, so you're like me, you're a rainbow warrior.
Oh.
And I said, well, you know, what's that? And she said, well, you know, you're a rainbow warrior is someone that connects with multiple tribes.
Mm.
And she said, and you're from the First Nations. And she put her hand in the middle of my back and she said something in her native language. And it was a blessing of sorts.
Oh.
And she said, you're going to be doing ceremony before you know it.
Oh.
And I was changed.
Like immediately.
Immediately transformed. And then the next night, it sort of carried over. We worked with another authentic guide who recognized me as chief. We did ceremony with him. And it was under the September full moon.
Oh, nice.
We exchanged some words that were a little similar. And I did some work with him over the last several months. And he's, you know, also said some similar things about, you know, just being the native that in a weird way, I don't want to say I've denied, but it's hard for me, you know, in this day and age with cultural appropriation, like you know, people are, oh, you can't do this unless you have papers. I don't have papers.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I can live it. And so it's been hard for me to embrace that. And I feel like that has held me back. And so it's finally time for me to start living it.
Yeah.
And I feel like those two things have been an awakening moment.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then recently, I'll say this quick.
No, you're good. No worries.
I had gone to the Mohegan Wigwam Festival a few weeks back. And just walking around, it was home. And I was with a friend of mine, and we were approached by some elders who clearly, you know, recognized me as being family. And some of the conversations that took place, I mean, you want to talk about signs and symbols and synchronicities. It was one of the most beautiful days that I have had. Like, my heart was soaring, and like Dad was with me the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And we came back, and it was just like, enough is enough. Like this is it. Like, yeah. You need to just stop, and you need to step into those big shoes that you know are already yours. You're wearing them. You've just got to walk. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
Those are some of my awakening moments.
I love it. And then all the ceremonies are so beautiful.
Oh,
and
yes.
I'm a Mohawk, so it's...
Oh, yeah. Lakota is what I've learned. Yes. Yeah. Lakota is my main one.
Nice. I love it. I love it. I've always, with the native culture.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's your daily spiritual and magical practice like?
So when I awake in the morning, before I even get out of bed, I go to my breath. And I've probably done this. So when I was diagnosed, it was 2006. So it probably took me a couple years when I knew I was, I'll call in what I say the safe zone. You know, I was getting clean scans again. You know, I had finished the chemotherapy and the radiation. I just started to be grateful for the breath. Thank you for letting me open my eyes and breathe another day. It sounds very simple, but for me, it's a very profound thing and something I think we take for granted.
Absolutely.
Which translates into my original practice. So I start my day off with gratitude. Gratitude for awakening, gratitude for breath, and I do a breathing practice right in my bed. Most days, it's not every day, but most days I will get up and I will go to my healing room, which is diagonal from my bedroom, and I will grab my drum. And even if it's not a long time, but I will drum either in my healing room, or I oftentimes will go out onto my back deck and I will drum out in nature because I've got to be out in nature. I have a puppy at home, so she's got to go out. So I will either walk her, or I will put her on her line, and I will take my drum. She loves my drum. So I will be drumming while she's outside.
Nice.
I also, I'm a big, I don't want to say smudger, but I burn in the morning. So I'm burning either some type of incense, or, I mean, I have copal, so I'll have it in my lion shell.
Oh, nice.
So I will burn that. And I breathe. If I've got enough time, I will do a short meditation. But the drumming is really what grounds me.
Nice.
And it's just, returning to the heartbeat, the original, the original heartbeat outside in nature, where it's meant to be.
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Who or what inspires your path the most?
Oof. Layered. My ancestors, or my dad from the other side, because he was the parent that I was closest with. And I just remember him always saying to me, be Bree. Be yourself. I can remember in, grade school, middle school, when the peer pressure came up, like, just be Bree. Like, if they don't like you, not everyone's going to like you. And if you just remember to be Bree, like, that's all you have to worry about. But I also think, myself.
Yeah.
Because while we have the support or the bonds with, our parents, our siblings, our soul sisters, our friends, we wake up and go to bed with ourselves every day. So if at the end of the day you're not happy with yourself,
it's true. Wise words. Absolutely. Yeah, be yourself, and it'll attract who is supposed to be one of your peeps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. What is the biggest challenge you faced on your journey, and how did you overcome it?
Ooh. I've been told I can take life too seriously. Well, fear. So I got this tattoo, and no one's going to be able to see it, but it says fearless, and I have this infinity loop. I got this, it was before COVID, but it's fear, and then the L is the gray ribbon for brain cancer.
Oh, nice.
And the infinity loop, infinity is very close to my heart. But really what it symbolizes for me is our journey never ends. It's continuous. And what comes with the fear is the anxiety. So when I go for scans, I'm going every 6 months, comes a lot of that fear.
Oh, yeah.
But I wear headbands because judgment.
From
So
people seeing you?
Fear and judgment. Big obstacles for me to overcome. And no one else gets this, especially, I say my soul family. No one cares that I lost hair to radiation. No, nobody does. No. It's something I've had to overcome, and it's something I still struggle with. I did not plan on taking my headband off.
No, that's okay. You're beautiful, and it's that mental block, right?
It is. And it's, it's something I've done a lot of work on to let that go. And it just, wow, it feels good. It's time. Yeah. When I sit here and I talk about the synchronicities in my life, it's just time to be me. There's we talk about dropping masks and labels, and that's what this is. It's, for me, it's protection, it's insulation, but I don't need it. Right. There's a past me that did need it. It has served me well till it doesn't.
Right.
And I think there's a lot to be said for a simple piece of fabric and a challenge.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a metaphor.
Yeah.
For a challenge to overcome.
I learned a while back that when people don't have hair, especially where yours meets, it's right above your pineal gland. And with no hair there, it's like they're able to connect with that divine energy more, because sometimes hair gets in the way. You see monks that are bald.
Yes.
Things like that. So it's like you're gifted that extra connection without the barrier there, right?
Yes. So it's interesting that you bring that up, Mellisa, because I've learned through the shamanic work that I've done that a lot of that is life experience. And so my tumor, and not to get a lot into this, but was behind my right eye, a little bigger than twice the size of an egg. But my scar goes ear to ear. So the hair loss actually is from the radiation that I had. But if I go back, like, I know I've always connected with spirit, but when I go back and if I really, and it's when I do like my journeying, it's after.
Like after
the surgeries, the surgery and the treatment, that I feel like I was able to connect deeper.
Interesting.
So in a way that, like you said, opened up something else within me. So that I could connect on a deeper level. And that's a gift in itself.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So being able to utilize an illness and overcome that has been a gift.
Yeah.
Because I've gone 18 years now.
Wow.
With no new growth.
Good.
And nothing on the horizon. And I don't even need to feel like I need to knock on wood.
Right, like really. And with a lot of people, I'm able to see, like, especially initially seeing, I'm able to see like an aura color around them. So when I see you, it's like this purple, and it's right above where your hairline starts and stops, and it's like a purple, almost like arches that go on a separate side, and it goes all the way down around you. So that's what I see when I see you.
Oh, beautiful.
It's right there, right where it's right in that spot. It looks good. So yeah, so the aura looks good on you.
Thank you. I had done some aura photography with a couple of my girlfriends last spring, and the woman had said something similar, but she also said, you have a divine masculine presence on your right side, and we were all like, oh, that's my dad.
Nice. What color was the photography?
I don't remember. There was purple in there, but I think there was some orange too.
Nice.
I have to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
The memory is a little fuzzy,
right.
Some of the side effects of the treatment.
That's all right. Oh, that's awesome. What tools, methods, or spirits guide your work?
Animals.
Nice.
I do a lot with spirit animal communication. My drum. I have rattles, rocks, crystals, feathers. Yeah, there's no real one thing.
Nice. It's good to have like a bag of
a bag of tricks.
Bag of tricks. Absolutely. How do you stay energetically protected and grounded?
I do protection bubbles every day, sometimes multiple times a day. I get my feet in the grass as often as I can. Earthing is big for me. Water. I'm fortunate enough to live right by a lake and a waterfall.
Nice.
So I'm often walking over to the waterfall, most times with my drum. And it's funny because I don't look at it as protection, but now that I'm saying it out loud, I oftentimes, I guess it's a release, will take rocks. And again, this is something that I've learned through my own shamanic practice, and I've actually passed this along to some of my clients, is holding a rock near water. And, you know, if you're struggling or you want to release something, you know, you kind of attach that to a rock and you launch it into the water. And for me, it's I can watch it go right down the waterfall. So I'm doing that, you know, a couple times a week, you know, or even wanting to invite something in. I do that too.
Nice.
But water, you know, I'm an elemental person, so water is my main element.
Nice.
So yeah.
Love that. What's one common misconception about your craft or your work?
That you have to be at a certain point in your spiritual journey to do something. Or that it's fake and it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's so often.
I mean, there is power in belief. So I would say that you do need to believe in the intention for it to work, but you don't need to be doing something for 10 years.
Right.
To be good at it. You just need to start and believe.
Absolutely.
And you know that everybody is good.
True. There's good and bad in like all aspects.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have the yin with the yang.
Yeah.
The pros and the cons.
Just like everything else in life.
Oh yeah, yeah. Can you share a powerful or memorable client transformation?
So I have a regular client who for a long time didn't really listen to some of the feedback that I was giving her till it kind of blew up in her face.
Oh no.
And she listens to a lot of what I say now. But she's always expressed gratitude for me. You know, it's that you don't have to like what I say, but know that I'm saying it for your highest and your best. And she's always appreciated that. And we talked, she's had this underlying theme. And, you know, this just happened a few weeks back. She sent me an email and it just was, you know, I have no idea how I can ever tell you how much I appreciate you for everything you've done for me the last several years.
Nice.
And like for what you've done for my life. And her son just had a baby. And like she, you know, we don't have a personal relationship, but she sent me the email that he had the baby and with a picture of the baby. And, you know, it just is in a world of impersonal things, to get something personal like that was very nice.
Yeah.
And with someone who, you know, was a non-believer, now is. So like that has felt really good.
Nice. Well, that's nice that she felt comfortable enough with you to share such a personal part of her life.
And when she first started seeing me, she was very closed off to a lot of the stuff that I wanted to, that I knew would benefit her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
What sacred self-care practices keep you aligned?
The drumming.
Mm-hmm.
The drumming is, probably the main theme in my life. But, I also use essential oils. So I tend to make some of my own blends. We have a couple of the girls at Dragonflies who do essential oils. So I'm lucky enough that they make blends too, so I can reap the benefits of that. So I diffuse in my home a lot.
Nice.
That certainly helps. I'm a big component. I don't want to say that I dubbed the phrase radical self-care, but like I have non-negotiable self-care time in my schedule. My husband knows that. He's like, okay, Bree's got a face mask on. Like I'm not going to talk to her. I journal. So I write a lot. For me, music is therapy. So a lot of times, I'm listening to music, but I'm not just singing the words. It's more than that. I actually just did a little thing a few weeks back. For about a year now, I have a playlist of maybe about 30 songs.
Nice.
And I carved out, certain phrases that really hit deep with me. And about a couple weeks ago, I sat up on my pool deck for about an hour or so, and I wrote in my journal, it's like a 5-page excerpt, if you will, just those phrases.
Oh, nice.
And then I read it back, and the story that pulling these in a random order, like I didn't choose them in a specific order. The story that this told was just mind-blowing. It's beautiful.
I love that.
And it, so I've kind of always been a writer, journaling. And a while back, it was going through my cancer journey was one of the things that sort of got me through it. Was my self-care practice, was writing. And I had said, I'm going to write a book. It was going to be all about my cancer journey. Well, that book is still going, but again, it's morphed and changed like we do. And so now it's been interesting because I've picked it up from time to time, and I went back and I looked through, and it's interesting what's in there now, because now it's as my spiritual journey has grown and changed and shifted and shed. And, I added this, I called it my lyrical life. That's like an excerpt in it. And it's just, I really love to go back and read what I've written, because it's just so cool. So writing is probably another self-care tool that I have in my little toolkit.
Nice. It's fascinating to see your perspective then compared to now.
Yes.
Go and read back on the channel, right?
It really is.
That is so different. What does success look like to you as a spiritual business owner?
That my clients feel better leaving me than when they came in.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say that you're not going to need me anymore. Which is true too, because maybe that means that I've done my job. But also I kind of feel like our spiritual body is like our car. We're always going to need tune-ups. We're always going to need energetic work, especially with the world we live in right now. And I don't want to talk about that.
No.
But yeah, I feel like that the people that come to my classes, or come to me as a private session, enjoy the work that I'm doing for them, and are getting, someone that comes to me for a spirit animal class are getting not just what they paid for, but a connection with me and with, whatever work we're doing.
Nice. Yeah, that is true. Especially people connect, with their peers too in the class or
Yes.
what have you, and that brings out and spills out into their other parts of their regular life too. So that's wonderful to see. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and if it's at Dragonflies, there's the community connection as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you follow the moon, astrology, or seasonal cycles in your work?
Probably, so the girls at Dragonflies know this. I struggle sometimes with astrology. I just think it's for me, it's the comprehension. It's so layered. But definitely the moon. I'm a lunar girl. And seasonal stuff. And that goes to the native side.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. What's something you wish more people knew about energy work, divination, rituals, what have you?
That it's more common than you think. And that it's not woo-woo.
That term cracks me up, the woo-woo.
Yeah, I mean, I have some family members who are like, oh yeah, you and that new age stuff. And I'm like, oh, that makes me cringe. It's not derogatory, but it's part of your soul. Like it's almost, it chooses you. So if you're a librarian, someone's not going to say, oh, you're a book person. It just I don't know how to quite answer that.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not so new.
It's not that it's been around since the dawn of time. Quite literally. That it goes back thousands and thousands of years. I mean, especially for me when I talk about the native heritage, I mean, when you dig into that and some of the rituals that they were doing back then, it's not new at all.
No, and I believe it goes back way further than what some people believe, like before the Younger Dryas and before that previous ice age. I believe that it was spiritual culture and that whole belief system with connecting with nature and the universe goes back hundreds of thousands of years, and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
No, sometimes I wish I think I lived back then.
Yeah, maybe you have. Maybe this is reincarnation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Sometimes I feel like I'm out of place here, and I feel called to go back to then. But
maybe you're here.
That's not the case.
To spread the word.
Yes, that's it.
Absolutely. What magic are you currently brewing in regards to maybe sales you're having, events you're doing, things like that?
So this month coming up, I have I'm doing at Dragonflies Discover Your Soul Spirit Animal.
Nice.
So I do that in 3 components. I have a first level of Discover Your Soul Spirit Animal. So that's where I bring people on a drumming journey to just what I said. You discover your soul spirit animal. And then the second part will be in October, and that is learning more about your soul spirit animal. And then the third level is working with your soul spirit animal. So learning to embody it, if it is a bird, does it sing, learning its song, how it can help you in your everyday life, working more with it. At the end of this month, I'm also doing a sacred water ritual. End of this month, I'm collaborating with, again, my shamanic mentor and her student, Cynthia. We met in Sedona last year, out in Danvers. It's a yoga studio called Wild Rose.
Nice.
We're collaborating doing a similar journey, but it's shamanic drumming, hypnosis, and breathwork for meeting your soul spirit animal. So we're all bringing our specific gifts to that, and it's a deeper dive. So again, that's this month. And I'm, doing more elemental things. In the coming months, I'm also collaborating with another person at Dragonflies. We're going to start doing something seasonal around the medicine wheel.
Nice.
In a sense of, the direction, the element, the herb, in a drumming type circle way. But, just honoring the seasons, the cycles, and, I'll always have the Breathwork available. And, as we say at Dragonflies, if you can't make something live, we can do it in a private event. We're doing things, small groups or, one-on-one. So,
Nice.
yes.
Oh, I love that. Sounds so wonderful. Thanks. Now so for some fun questions.
Okay.
What is your sun, moon, and rising sign, if you know that?
So sun sign is Cancer, moon is Taurus, and rising is Virgo.
Nice.
And I'm a Cancer through and through, all the water, all the emotions. Taurus, bull, I could be stubborn. And the Virgo, I think, is analytical. So I can definitely be analytical.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Nice. And everything is like earth and water, just very smooth.
Yes.
And,
yep.
Nice. Do you have a favorite crystal, herb, or tool that you always work with?
So the crystal, there's probably 2, Septarian and Caribbean calcite.
Nice.
Herbs, I'd probably go Palo Santo, Yerba Santa, and sweetgrass.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one?
Tools.
Tools, my drum.
Nice. Yeah. What's your magical nickname or archetype that you resonate with?
Bree, and it's Breathe with Bree. Or, everyone says, I'm a mermaid because of my association with water. Sea, the sea shaman.
Nice. I love it. Tea or tincture?
Tea.
Tarot or runes?
Oracle?
That works. Cauldron or candle?
Ooh. I do like a good cauldron, but probably candle.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a cauldron.
The elements, the candle is the candle magic, the fire.
Yes, absolutely. If your spirit guide had a voice, what would it sound like?
So if it's the medicine woman, she's soft and quiet. But if it's the native, he's intense and deep, loud.
Nice.
Yeah.
That I just picture that deep, ancient,
yes,
chieftain voice of wise elders.
Yes.
Been around for a while. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you have any pets?
I do. I have a dog, puppy. Her name is Cora. But she was brought to us, pretty sure, from my heart dog, Ginger, so Cora's a boxer mix. Ginger was also a boxer. I say she was our dog because, she was the first dog we ever had. But she was also the dog that I say got me through my treatments. And she passed once she knew I was going to be good. And we knew we wanted another dog, but then COVID hit and we couldn't. We knew we wanted another boxer. We knew we wanted a female, and we just could not find one. And then all of a sudden, my husband actually found her, and it moved really fast, and we were able to get her. And some of her mannerisms are just like Ginger's. And it's funny because she's very attentive to me. She's like my shadow, and I just know in my heart that from the other side, Ginger brought her to us.
I believe that happens quite often for people where your past pet brings in your next pet. So, yeah, that's fascinating. And just how it works out. It wasn't time yet until it was time.
Right.
And then there she is.
Yep.
Just like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So those were all the questions I have for you. Was there anything else you would like to talk about?
I don't think so. I think, can I add something?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, so watching some of the other episodes, there was something you had asked and I had a good answer to it. That's why I want to say it was advice for someone starting
their
a journey. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to say, because it was something that I learned, it was one of the lessons for myself, was to just be a voice, don't be an echo.
Yeah.
So even if you're starting your journey, speak up for yourself. Find your voice. And if you can't find your voice, find your community, because they will help you find your voice. Mm-hmm. And there's always a community for you. So That's
Nice.
just what I wanted to add.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
This was
Thank
fun.
you for joining me. And I apologize. I didn't mean to ask you that, but I skipped right over to the
That's
next
okay.
one.
That's okay. Because I had a song I listened to before I came in talks about, like
That
I said,
voice.
the sound, finding your voice.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
This was
my
fun.
pleasure. Yeah. So I'm going to put a link for them to find you in the description. Do you want that to be your Facebook page or?
Sure. It's Facebook and it's Infinite and Elemental Healing. And then it could be Instagram and that's just Watergirl3078.
So go check her out and take some of her classes at Dragonflies and Amber. And as always, come check us out at Enchanted Dragonfly. We are a metaphysical shop at 99 Church Street, Whitensville, Massachusetts. So subscribe to this podcast channel, like the episode, go check out her page, follow her page, go join one of her classes, and bless Phoebe, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.